More and more each day through the internet, we are exposed to different aspects of the collective human consciousness. With this ever increasing exposure, we're also noticing increasing rates of anxiety and depression. This may be due to comparative thinking. Comparing the self to the other is not inherently harmful. It really just comes down to whether you're coming from a place of lack or abundance. If we can move out of comparison thinking that is presented as judgment and into comparison thinking that is presented as curiosity, we will be able to coexist as individuals as a part of a greater whole who honor each other's differences. With all the trolling and negative commentary we see on the internet, it's almost as if the internet platform is currently serving as an outward projection of the collective human limbic system, where we project our wounding onto the collective consciousness by reacting to ideas that trigger us. Instead of stepping back and observing what emotions and belief systems that trigger is activating within us, we tend to react by creating reactionary commentary. Many feel that we are closing up a planetary cycle and shifting into the age of Aquarius. I've noticed that a lot of people have expressed how 2019 was one of the most challenging and intense years of their current lifetime. It makes sense because we've been wrapping up an intense cycle and having to face our inner demons, or the parts of ourselves that we have disowned. The December eclipse in Capricorn that occurs right before the numerical marking period, or the new year, may be offering us the opportunity to look within and ground or materialize new thought, emotion, behavior systems that facilitate us being more authentic versions of ourselves and replace our outdated, inauthentic ways of living. For those who are into astrology, the astrological new year begins at the spring equinox in the sign of Aries, the ram. To me, this pair of eclipses occurring in December 2019 and January 2020 are offering us the opportunity to put these new systems into place before the astrological new year comes to a close and reopening, where a regeneration of the collective consciousness materializes. Many of us have served as echo chambers, or rather, we're really just repeating other people's ideas that we have consumed via reading text, conversation, podcasts, schooling, religion, etc., which really just perpetuates that specific program. So many of us are afraid to be our true selves and express our true thoughts and beliefs for fear of judgment, abandonment, ridicule, loss of resources, etc. Please notice that this all comes from a place of fear and a state of lack. Just think about it for 1 second. We are afraid to express our truest, most authentic selves. I'm one of these humans, and I'm forcing myself out of that space by expressing myself on this channel and through other forms of creative and artistic expression. So Aquarius is an air sign. It is the cup that holds water. Could this represent how thought and emotion are closely related? Do our thoughts house our emotions? To me, Aquarius represents unconventional ways of thinking, being, and doing, experiencing the self as an individual that is part of the whole, and truly wanting to maintain that individual identity while balancing its union with the collective identity and authenticity. I feel that we will see authentic individuals who are able to live interdependently within the collective and provide value to the collective by being and expressing their true selves, being exalted or highlighted during this cycle. More than ever, it is crucial to be able to think interdependently. It is important to learn from others, but it is also important to listen to yourself, because each one of us is a unique expression of the divine source that has a unique blueprint or map on how to get back home by becoming and expressing the most authentic version of the self to the collective. Therefore, nobody knows what's truly best for you besides you. When learning from others, I like to integrate things into my life how they apply to me. Lately, I've been developing the skill of observing without absorbing. This looks like me listening to and experiencing what is going on around me and also inside of me without taking impulsive action, allowing me to refine myself or the idea without birthing it into a physical existence. I notice this practice is helpful for me in recognizing outdated narratives and programs that I'm still running that are often triggered by my sensory experience. For example, if I'm in an environment that I used to frequent, it's easy for me to engage in thought, emotion, and behavior patterns and sequences that I used to engage in those environments. We might also see this when we visit with family, friends, or even run into ex-partners. We may have to consciously release the outdated thought, emotion, behavioral sequences by processing our uncomfortable emotions and releasing them, by truly expressing how we feel in a mature way and choosing not to revert to the old, inauthentic behaviors. This is one form of reprogramming. Overall, the age of Aquarius may offer us the opportunity to realize and appreciate that nobody's perspective is the absolute truth. It's just one piece of it, based on life experience and many other factors. Therefore, too much of one perspective without discernment can put you off balance. Programming is occurring all around us all the time, and it's nonstop because now with the internet, we are all players on the world stage and have nonstop access to each other's projections due to smartphones. It's easier than ever to access people's energy, auric fields, mental space, wallets, etc. And we are all being influenced by the high-speed exchange of information, narratives, advertising, social media trends, marketing and commercialism, etc. We all may benefit from being in control of our mechanism, our thought, emotion, action sequences. The narrative or thought experiment that I'm presenting in this video is an opinion that I have formed through researching and absorbing other people's perspectives that I have then synthesized into my own perspective. One interesting thought that I have been pondering recently is the weight of fact versus perspective. Are facts just individual perspectives that have been collectively agreed upon and materialized as truth by passing them down as programming to younger generations? I would love to hear your take on this. Please feel free to comment below.